Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are at, and welcome to the E-Hustle, Living the E-Hustle broadcast. Today on our podcast, we're going to discuss just a couple of things here because we know that our real estate market is now shifting. If you have not noticed it, heard it, felt it, it is definitely shifting. So let's talk about that a little bit. Is what does that really mean? And what do we do now? What do we do now? I mean, we're watching the last couple of days that the stock market has gone nuts as far as the negative direction. And did we really think that it was going to continue to go up forever with some of the things that are going on out there? Of course not. It's profit taking time. And we're having the same situation here real estate wise. Whereas at the end of the day, we've got a lot of news about how great the economy is. I'm not saying that it is or is not, but there are definitely challenges out there. For our real estate market, one of the biggest challenges has been the rise in interest rates. Needless to say, interest rates can't stay free as they have been for a while, forever. But when you have higher real estate prices for homes and the interest rates rise, what tends to happen is that less buyers either can't afford it or they just get to the point sometimes where they just feel like, okay, I just can't do that, and they give up. Between the down payment that needs to be put up, other things, just those factors. I think mentally that's what happens. That's what's happened in other cycles that I've been a part of. So where we're at right now that I see is this. For our sellers, one, you have to understand that pricing is paramount. And when I say pricing being paramount, I mean pricing it at the beginning. You got to think about it like this, is that when you price your home right now, this is not a let's see if we can get it market in most areas. This is not a let's put it up for sale, let's see what happens, and if I can't get my price, I'll take it off, or then I'll reduce the price. This is not the market for that because the market is shifting. Because what happens? What happens is this, is that if you price the home and you do not get activity and or you get activity and do not get offers right away, then your days on market are longer. When buyers see that your home has been on the market for a longer period of time, buyers are either A, going to not make an offer because they want to know what's wrong with it because nobody else has. And then B, what they're going to do is they're going to say, well, the property's been on the market for a long time, so let's make a lower offer and let's see what happens. So now you're getting lower offers, and at that particular point, if you get any, and when I say lower offers, I'm not necessarily saying, it's going to be, just a few $1,000s lower. It's generally a sticker shock type of lower is what the buyers will make the offer on because they're looking at your home as just sitting on the market anyway. So pricing is paramount in the beginning. So let's discuss how we price. So normally when we're pricing our real estate, we're going off of just sold comps. And when we're going off of just sold comps, that means obviously homes that have sold recently in the area, similar size, similar square footage, similar bedroom, bathroom count. That's what we're doing. But let me tell you, when the market begins to shift like this, particularly agents that have been through this before, you begin to, and you begin to realize that you now need to take a look at a couple more things. One is you need to look at the pendings, the properties that are in escrow. Now, you don't know what they're in escrow at, but what you do know is what the last list price was from before it entered escrow. So you'd like to look at that and to see if the days on market that it took them to get into escrow is long or short. And you also want to take a look at whether or not the list price is the original list price from when when the home was put on the market or not. That'll tell you a lot. So let's say that the property was originally put on the market at 500,000 and it's showing pending, but it is also showing that it was pending after it was reduced to 480,000. You following me? And then how long did it take for it to get an escrow? And at that particular point, you also want to then look at the properties that are on the market. And what the key factor that you're looking at for the properties that are on the market is how many days they've been on the market. You want to know how many days they've been on the market, and then you want to also see, has there been any price adjustments since they've been on the market. These are important and really key issues as you're determining your price. Because here's the deal. Let's say that your last closed comp again was 500,000. So you want to price yours at either 500 or you want to price yours at 510 and you want to go down. Well, that sounds good, but what if your active properties are now on the market below your last closed sales? So the properties that are available, as even though you've had a closed comp at 500 and you could have probably appraised for that, your buyers right now are saying that a property similar to yours is on the market for 480,000 and they still have not made an acceptable offer that the seller will accept. So we know the seller would accept 480 because that's what he's on the market at, but he's still not in escrow. What do we do? In my opinion, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get ahead of the next curve, meaning that if there's a similar property on the market at 480 and you've had a closed comp at 500, you ought to consider, and it just depends, on pricing your home below 480. And you'll say, why? Because the last one sold at 500 and I think I should be able to get that. Well, unfortunately, the market is shifting and you're looking in the rearview mirror. So here's what we're looking at, or what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the fact that you've now got the same house on the market at 480 and it has not sold. So that house at 480, there's a strong possibility that it will sell eventually, or they will reduce their price further, and when they do either one, more than likely it's not going to sell at 480. So now you're at 500, that property at 480 then sells for 475. You follow what I'm saying? You are better to get ahead of that 480 number in your initial listing, because then you are going to look like a deal. And as you begin to look like a deal and you spark more interest, there is the possibility of you getting more than one bidder, more than one buyer, possible multiple offer on your property, or at least getting that list price because the borrower realizes it's a really good deal and they don't want to miss out. So that's what's paramount with that. Buyers, you out here right now need to understand and recognize when there is a good deal that you see. Now, what is a good deal? Now, that varies from buyer to buyer, but to me, one of the biggest things that you should be considering as a good deal is, can you afford the monthly payment if you are going to stay in the house longer term? If that is the case, it protects you for if the market begins to fall further later. Because here's the deal. Whether the market falls or goes back up or whatever it does, what the interest rates are right now is an environment that they're going to continue to rise. And if the interest rates rise, it's going to affect your monthly payment more than it will if the price of the home drops. You do the math, take a calculator, talk to a lender, look at that. But that is going to be a major determining factor. And these are things that you have to navigate when you are looking at homes and you're in the real estate game right now. If that property, would have closed at 500 and now you see that same property on the market at 470 or 480 and you like that home and you can afford that monthly payment, you should jump on that, in my opinion. Don't sit around and try to wait for it to go to 450. Because if it goes to 450, but the interest rate gets to 6 or 7%, your monthly payment's going to be higher. Following me? So anyway, that's where we're at right now. We just wanted to give a couple of quick tidbits of what we mean, not only with the market shifting, but what do we do? How do we navigate through this thing as buyers and sellers and do the best that we can where there's a win-win for everyone? You as a buyer get the home in the neighborhood that you would prefer. Sellers, you're able to sell your property and move on to the next step in your lives. As always, remember, no matter what you're going through in life, it's just a temporary condition because things change. And guess what? It truly is. It's a great life. God bless. We are looking forward to speaking to you in the near future. Okay?